everyone.
Hello.
I'm Myrto.
And I'm Spyros.
And today we're playing Hexes of Sygon. Hexes of Sygon is currently on Kickstarter. It has already been funded, but it's still available if you want to check it out. So today we are playing a full game, a two-player game, and we are explaining the rules both at the beginning and as we play, as usual. So let's see what we have here. First of all, each one of us plays a faction of 3 wizards, and we are trying to manage our resources appropriately to gather sorcery points. And whoever manages to go over a specific threshold of sorcery points, which I will explain soon, wins the game. So we take turns building towns, workshops, markets and walls to mark our territory, gather resources, gather gold, build more things, because the buildings give us sorcery points, and the game goes on like that until someone wins the game. So let's see what we have here. We have a modular board. All of these are separate tiles. I'll show you one, like so, which we have randomly placed on the board. The specific number of different terrains, as you can see here, has been determined for 2 players specifically. We just shuffle them and put them on the board. You can see we have 6 different types of terrain pieces that correspond to the 6 different types of resources here. 3 more are over there. And then we have 3 volcanoes of different colors. The tiles for the volcanoes indicate where the volcanoes go, and we have some nice miniatures there that we place on top of them. The volcanoes will erupt throughout the game, destroying the surrounding areas, making them less valuable, let's say, and dangerous for our wizards and our towns.
I think now they are called witches. I think the new miniatures are females.
Oh, they're witches.
Yes.
Okay. Apart from the terrain pieces, on top of them we have gold value pieces that have already been randomly placed around the board as well, and they indicate how many gold that space provides at the end of each turn. So if you have a town on a specific space, it gives you both the resource, the corresponding resource, and the gold value that is on top of it. So that's a way to get resources and gold. So first, let's go through a general overview of how the game is played, and then we will explain the details as we play. And as I said, we take turns until the game ends, and during a turn, first of all, we haven't finished the setup yet. We start with a couple of towns on the board and a few wall pieces, which we will place after I explain the rules. So at the beginning of the first turn of each player, we also place our witches on the board. This does not only happens during round 1. After that, they stay on the board and you move them around. And that's the second step of one's turn. You move the witches. Each one of them can move once, so to an adjacent space, but there are ways to teleport further away, up to 2 spaces away, jumping over opponent walls, which normally is not allowed, and over volcano pieces, which normally you don't step through them. We cannot move into one of those hexes. We can teleport over them. And later in the game, some of those terrain pieces around the volcanoes might be destroyed and turned to the ash side. We cannot step into an ash side of a terrain piece, but we can teleport over them. So that's the movement phase, and then we move, and these are taken in order. So first, you place your wizards on the board, or you upright them, which I will explain soon. Then you move them. Third step is to build whatever you want to build. During the build action, you can also exchange resources. For example, you can spend 7 gold pieces to buy a resource of your choice, or you can spend a resource of your choice and 3 gold pieces to exchange it for something else, or you can sell a resource to get 3 gold. But all of those can be done in any order throughout the building phase, but only during the building phase. Step, not phase. And then we can spend the corresponding resources, which we have here on our boards, to build towns, workshops, walls and markets. There are restrictions to how you can do that. For example, you need to have a wizard, a witch on a specific space to be able to build something there. You can only build workshops and markets in a space that already contains one of your towns. You cannot build in spaces where an opponent has already built a town, and little things like that, which we will explain as we go. And building gives you, as I said, access to more resources and gold and sorcery points. Then, as soon as this step is done, we move on to step 4, which is casting. In the casting phase, each of the witches, the wizards, can take one action each, and they have to be different actions from each other. The 3 actions, the basic actions, spell actions, are forage, which is to get one resource of the specific space where the wizard is placed. So, for example, here I would get 1 spice. And you then place forage tokens to mark that the land has been foraged, and if it gets foraged twice, you cannot forage it anymore. And the second is to steal some gold from your opponents. You have to be adjacent to them. The rules for stealing for 3 and 4 player games are different than it is for 2 player games, and I will explain the details whenever it comes to it. But you steal from opponent wizards and towns that are not protected by a wall, and you get gold from your opponent this way. And the third action is to protect one of your pieces, because if a wizard is standing, for example, it can be stolen from, but if it is protected, it's on its side, your opponents cannot steal from them. So you can protect one of your wizard pieces from opponents stealing them. There are some extra actions which I will explain in the end, because this is the basic version that I am explaining right now. And finally, as soon as you are done with your casting step, the end of your turn is to adjust your score, which we usually do during the building phase immediately, but in any case, you double check that your score is correct, and then you take resources according to your income, which, as I said, depends on how many towns you have, workshops and markets on the various spaces on the board. You get your income and your turn is done. Then everyone takes a turn like that, and as soon as everyone has taken the turn, the round ends, and 2 things happen. First, we roll a die, which is specific to this game. It's a 12-sided die, but it has colors that correspond to the 3 volcano colors. So we roll the die to check which of the volcanoes or a volcano which will erupt. Some of the sides have 1 color, others have 2 colors, but whatever you roll, the corresponding volcanoes erupt. When a volcano erupts, we put this cute miniature there, the smoke miniature, on top of it. For example, let's say that the green erupts, and then all the surrounding areas get lava in them, I suppose. And what this does is it reduces the gold value of the space by 1. So this would become a 0, this would become a 1, and so on. If a space is already at 0, it gets burned. As I said earlier, it becomes ash, so you flip it face down. If there is a wall that protects a space, instead the wall is destroyed. If a wizard is in a space which has 0 value and gets flipped, the wizard dies, and there are ways to bring them back, but not in the basic game. And if there are buildings that are not protected by a wall in a 0 spacer, first the buildings get destroyed, and then if there are no buildings, the space is flipped. So there is a process to it, to what gets destroyed, depending on what is on the space. And we do this for each volcano that erupts. The smoke has a nice visual effect, but also is a reminder that no volcano can erupt 2 rounds in a row. So if there is a smoke cloud on a volcano, you are 100% certain that it cannot erupt during the next round, so you know that your pieces can be safe around it. Okay, so that's it. And then the final step of the round is to check if the game's end has been triggered.
There is the option to get extra gold if someone is on top.
Yeah, on this step. First, we check if anyone has surpassed the threshold of sorcery points. The threshold is 27 sorcery points minus 1 point for each space that has been burned and turned into ash. So as the game progresses and the volcanoes burn the spaces around them, the threshold will become lower, and as soon as at least 1 person surpasses the threshold, the game ends, and whoever has the most sorcery points wins. If there is a tie for people who have the most sorcery points, we play 1 more round and check again. If there is still a tie, whoever has the most resources from the tied players wins. And finally, as Spyros mentioned, whoever has less sorcery points than the lead player in sorcery points receives gold, fortune gold, they're called, gold from the bank, equal to the number of sorcery points they trail behind the leader in sorcery points. So there is a catch-up mechanism there. And that is the whole round. And you go around like that until the game's end is triggered and the game ends.
Yes.
So this is the basic version. It is not the basic setup. There is a suggested setup in the rulebook for first-time players. We haven't done that. We've done everything randomly. But you can do this for your first game. And then the other differences are, apart from the rules that I already explained, there are two more basic, spell actions. Advanced spell actions that you can use throughout the game. Instead of just foraging, stealing, and protecting, you can also terraform, I think it's called. Let me check here. Terraform, which, as I said, when you forage, you place one of those tokens, and it has a black side for the first time you forage and a red side for the second. If the token is on the red side, no one can forage in this space anymore. With terraforming, you can flip one of the tokens on the other side. You can flip it from the black to the red if you don't want anyone else to forage, or from the red to the black to make sure that the space becomes available for foraging again. You cannot add or remove a token, but you can flip one by terraforming.
Yes.
And the final action is to scorch a space where you have a wizard in, and this works pretty much the same as the volcanoes. So if I have a wizard here, I can say that I scorch this space and I reduce the value by 1. If it is already at 0, you turn it around and your wizard dies. But this can be useful, especially towards the end of the game, sometimes, because it helps you maybe reach the threshold faster.
Yes.
And encircle cities, which I haven't mentioned, because towns, encircled towns with walls, volcanoes, the side of the board, and ash spaces give points, so you may want to do that to encircle a town at the last moment. Finally, and most importantly, there is a bunch of cards here that are spell cards. I think there are 17 different spells, 2 times each. And the number of spells doesn't change according to the players, so you still have 2 copies of each spell when you play with more players. And these are spells that you can buy with gold or resources and break the rules that I just explained in one way or another. And of course, I will not explain all of these. You can buy 1 spell per turn and you can use 1 spell per turn. Some of them have instant effects, others have ongoing effects, and we will see some of them throughout the game. They are very useful, but they are for more advanced players. You have to have a good grasp of how each spell works, because you have access to all of them pretty much at any time. So you need to kind of remember what each one of them does and make sure you use the right spells at the right moment to gain an advantage over your opponents.
And we have these beautiful spell books.
Yes, the spell books.
But you know anytime what spells you can buy or
because what kind of wizard you are without a spell book, right? And all of them are in here with what you need to spend to get them. And it's like a player aid for each.
Very smart.
Yes. Okay, and with that, I think we've covered the rules, most of the rules. We only left out little details that we will explain as we play. Quick mention before we begin, this is a prototype version of the game. For example, these tokens should be purple for me, and we don't have those ones because it's a prototype, and it won't be like that in the final version. And it has seen some wear and tear. It has, I think we have had this copy come and go in our house. A year ago again, so keep that in mind. The components are not the final ones, but and it didn't start like that. It was different here. We had spells, cards
instead of tokens.
Yeah, and they changed that, which is extremely useful. But yeah, whatever. Let's start playing. Before we start, though, we have to finish the setup.
Yes.
Because I said already what I have done, but before the game begins, we decide on a first player, which is usually me, because I still have rules to explain. And starting with the first player, we place a town on a space of our choice. And depending on whether it is an exterior space touching the edge of the board or not, we place 1 or 2 walls surrounding our town. And
yes, we are doomed.
Yes, I think so. The only completely safe spaces from volcanoes are this elixir, I think it is.
Yes.
space because, yeah, the color is pink, and those 2 crystal spaces.
Yes.
And I think I'll start with the elixir space because it's unique, and because it is near the edge of the board, I only get to place 1 wall next to it, which I will place here. Walls are placed between hexagonal spaces, but on the correct side, on your own space, so to speak. You can have 2 walls on each edge, either of the same player or, well, the same player doesn't really make any sense because 1 wall is enough. But you could have a different wall on the other hexagon right there. So we make sure to place them in the correct side of the edge of the border. Okay, now Spyros will do this twice, and then I'll do 1 more for myself.
I will play safe, and I will place 2 towns here with 2 walls. Let's place 1 wall here and 1 wall here.
And then I place another town for myself. Wow.
And probably if we are unlucky with the dice rolls, it will end soon, because if
they
6,
will
10,
start
13
exploding.
erupt,
Yeah.
then game will be on the 14 score.
We'll find out. I'll place another town here. We are playing rather defensively, and place a wall here to protect me from the volcano. It's very likely that you'll end up in each other's business.
Yes.
If you know, you place towns close to each other.
It's the steal action.
Yeah, and you want to be next to each other, yeah, to steal stuff, but it can happen in time. And that's part of the setup. And now, yes, we have income trackers up there, which are just to mark what type of income you get at the end of each turn. For me, that would be an elixir. Should we bring the elixirs here since I started from... Yeah, okay, and what do you need over there? Nothing yet. But
Nothing, but
yeah,
okay.
take the spices.
Spices.
Okay, so at the end of my turn, I will be gaining 1 elixir and 1 flower. So I put those cubes here as a reminder, but I also take them now because my towns are there as part of the setup in my resource, well, storage space.
Yes.
Storage space. And the same happens with the income in gold. So I will be taking 4 gold at the end of each of the turn. So on this tracker here, I place a gold on the 4. And but because I'm the first player, I start with 3 gold regardless of where I started on the map. So that goes here. And then I get to choose 1 resource of my choice as part of the setup, and I'll take 1 spice, please. Okay. Thank you.
You're starting with a market.
I think I always do that. Yeah. And now the same happens for Spyros.
Okay. 2 crystals here.
Yeah, and I think that because you have the 2 towns there, it works like the marketplace, doesn't it? Yeah. You can transform crystals for 2 gold instead of 3. Because you have 2 towns on the same type of resource. It's the same as building a workshop.
So I don't need the marketplace here, just for the points.
The workshop.
A workshop, just only for the points.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe that wasn't a very smart choice. Or maybe you go straight for a town and expand.
Well, the marketplace will give me an extra resource.
The workshop.
The workshop, yes.
Okay, so you take 5 gold because you're the second player in a 2-player game. I think it's 4 gold in 3- and 4-player games.
And 1 resource of my choice.
Yes.
I need gold at the beginning, so I think I will take 1 elixir.
I saw they were far away. Okay, and now we are done with the setup and we start the first turn.
Yes.
Before we do though, we double check the rule book, and it seems that it has been changed and you couldn't have gone to a 1 value.
Yes.
The new rule book says that you have to go to either to a 2 or 3 gold value, which 3 gold values do not exist in a 2-player game, but you have to choose a space with 2. If you wanted to go there though...
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I would have gone after you.
Yes. No. Okay, I will go... Okay, I will place this down here.
Okay.
So I will place 2 walls because it's interior. 1 here and 1 here.
Yes. Okay, so instead now you get to spice.
Okay, yes, here.
And in your storage.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And the gold starting is 4.
Yes. I don't think there's anything else to correct. Okay, we both start with 6 points because each town gives 3 sorcery points, so we start with 6 each. And now I take my turn. And at the beginning of my first turn, I place my wizards in the spaces that contain my towns in any combination I want, either 2 and 1 or 3 and 0. It doesn't. It's up to me. And I will do 1, 2, and 3.
Where are you going?
I need mushrooms and crystals and spice and everything. So that was the beginning of the turn. Now I get to move wizards if I want to. And I think you start here again. You have to be mindful of where you stand because of the steal action. And I think I'll move this one here and that one there. And then the move step is done. I get to build. And with 1 elixir, 1 spice, and 1 gold, you can see those here. I'll leave them on the side here so that we don't go with the hands in the... Okay, I get to build a market, which I can build in a space that has one of my wizards, which is, I get confused every time, and one of my towns. We cannot build a workshop or a market in a space without a town, and it has to be our own town. And we also have to have someone present there to build the thing. So as soon as I build a market, I get an increase in my gold income by 2. It is not connected to the value of the space. It's always 2. And then I also get 1 sorcery point, which I mark here, go up to 7.
Yes.
And I will also, let me double check something. Okay, I'll get a charm spell with my spare flower resource.
Okay.
So I will play this. The spells you can buy at any point during your turn and play at any point during your turn. And yeah, that's, but only 1 spell per turn. So this says that when bought, immediately gain 1 gold from the bank. So I do. And at the end of your turn, which I will activate this turn, knock over all your towns to protect them from stealing. Okay, and this now goes out of the game completely. No one has access to it anymore. There is a spell that allows you to use spells that have been burned, discarded, but it is discarded and no one... There is 1 more copy though within the deck. And yeah, so I knock over my towns to remember that you cannot steal from them. And I think that I will also... Do I want to waste a wall there? No, I'll take my chances. I'll keep the gold for later. So that was the end of the build step, and now I get to cast spells. I don't have a steal action. I'm way too far from your towns. So I will forage a crystal.
Okay.
So this space... And a crystal, please. Thank you. And I will protect this wizard.
Okay.
So now you can steal from those as well. And that's the end of my turn. My score is correct, and I get 1 flower, 1 elixir, and 6 gold. And now you start your own turn.
Okay.
I'll get my resources. First you place your wizards.
My witches?
How about yours are wizards and mine are witches?
Okay. 1 there and 2 here.
Also, since I am going to doing this, the spaces here are perfect for placing your cubes to plan for your turn. Yeah, of course, I'm just showing because I don't have... yes, you've done it already. That's what you're showing me. Yeah, and there are spaces here to plan your transforms as well, so you can keep track of your resources and what you want to do for the next turn.
Yes, the teleport for restrictions.
Yeah, the teleport costs 1 gold. Did I mention it earlier?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And it's everything here, the actions,
Yeah.
the trading, everything.
Yeah.
So I have done the step 1 and then I will move. I think.
When moving into a space that contains another wizard, another witch of someone else, another players, you have to pay the player 1 gold. And you do this for each witch in the space. And you cannot enter a space that already has 3 people in it.
Yes. Okay, I think I will move here.
Okay.
Just 1 movement.
Okay.
Okay.
It's 1 movement per witch, but you can forfeit any of them.
Yes. Or you can teleport all of them.
Yeah, if you pay.
If you pay, yes. Okay, and then step 3, build. I will build a market here with these 3, and I will place it here.
Okay.
So I get 1 sorcery point and 2 on the income track. I will give my crystal to buy the, what's the name of the spell? I saw it before. It's a blue one.
Shardborn Bounty.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. When bought, immediately gain 1 gold from the bank.
Okay.
And then you gain 1 gold from the bank each time you encircle one of your towns. I like that as well.
And this one stays with me.
Yeah, it's an
like
ongoing
passive.
effect.
Yes. And now I will spend 4 of my gold to place 2 walls. 1 here and 1 here.
Okay, okay.
Done with the building. Yes. Or not. Yes, yes. And I can't steal.
Yeah.
So I will just forage, I think. Let's forage the elixir.
Okay.
Here.
So you get 1 elixir.
Yes. And protect this one. Oh, I can't protect this one because
It
so
was the
I
one.
will protect this one.
Okay, okay.
And turn I will get my resources, 1 crystal, 1 spice, and 6 gold.
That's too far. Okay, okay. And now we roll the die to see which volcanoes or volcano erupts.
And
I destroyed your town.
Yes.
Okay, it's a red one though, so this one erupts.
Okay.
So we check all the adjacent hexes, and this one is protected by the wall, so the wall gets destroyed. All the other ones that don't have a wall and have more than 0 gold value, their value is reduced by 1. So these 2 drop to 0, so they are removed. And the other 3 drop down to 1. So we change the tokens. Here you go. And that was the aftermath of the volcano eruption. Now we check if anything changed in our scores, which didn't. Losing a wall doesn't cost a point or anything. And since we have equal sorcery points, no one gets the fortune gold.
Yes.
And that was the round. Moving on to round 2. Now, at the start of each turn, each player's turn, during the first round, at the beginning of the turn, we placed our witches in the board. At the beginning of each other round, each other turn, we upright our pieces so that they are available for stealing again. And then we take the turn as
Only
normal.
there is a, for the second round, that towns are not
For the first round.
For the first round. Okay.
For the first round.
Okay.
And then I can move. I'll move here.
You're coming close.
Yes. And then I'll move. Do I want to come closer there though? Put some pressure on. Yeah, I'll move there. I'm scattered. And this is going to move here because I don't think I want to buy any spell this round. So I'll give the elixir. First of all, I'll give 1 flower and 3 gold to transform it into a spice. And then, I had a spice here, but yeah, I forgot. And then with the elixir, the spice and 1 gold, I'll build another market on this space now, because that's why I moved there. And now I will give 2 gold to build a wall here. And I'll keep those for now. So I'm moving on to the cast step, and I'll forage 1 snow. Snow?
Snow.
No? Isn't it snow?
Snow, yes, snow.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you. And the forage token. And you can't use resources that you foraged or stole the same turn they were acquired. And that's it. And then I will not steal. I will protect with that. And this.
No stealing. Okay.
Yeah, no stealing. And then final step, I forgot to, I will increase my sorcery points by 1 and my income by 2 because I built the market and then I forgot to do that. So I take my income, which is 1 flower, 1 elixir, and 8 gold. So you can start your turn.
Okay. Interesting. This one goes up. Okay. I will move this one here, or not. Okay, here.
Okay.
One moment.
We know that this volcano cannot erupt, so this is safe to do for this turn.
So, build phase.
Okay, you're done with your movement?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
So, those 2 and the gold to build another market here. So, 1 sorcery point, 2 in the income. Okay.
You need some walls.
Yes. First of all, I will build 1 wall here.
Okay.
1 wall here. So this one is
a circle, so you get a point.
1 point.
And 1 gold.
And 1 gold, true.
Because of the spell.
Yes. And now I think you get yellow and purple. Yellow and purple. Give me 1 moment.
1 moment, please. Check the deck as well if you want.
Yes.
The blue.
No.
You want to transform a resource for a spell.
No, I think I will spend 1 gold to do the spell.
The ward.
The ward.
You always do that.
Yes, for the blossom boon.
Okay, let me find that. So, the word says, remove 1 copy of any unpurchased spell cards from the game. And first of all, and you want to remove the blossom boon.
Yes.
Your wizards are not blocked from building any hex with only 1 opponent wizard. Okay, so that gets removed from the game. And then the spell continues and says, until your next turn, opponent players must pay 1 gold to buy a spell card in addition to that card's normal cost, and must pay 1 gold to play a spell card. So this stays here until your next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I will use my last 2 gold to build another wall.
That was my plan, to waste your gold. Did it work? I don't know.
No, it's not waste.
I'll take a gold if I don't.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
So that is the build and then cast.
Yes.
Okay. This one will forage, unfortunately. Here.
Ah, okay.
And get
So you're not
snow.
stealing again.
Yes.
We're not thieves.
Not steal, and this one to protect.
Okay, okay.
So
Nice.
income. These 2 and 8 gold. Nice. 4, 7, 8. Yes, first the eruption.
Both blue and green. So both blue and green. So let's start with blue.
Sure.
All of these get reduced by 1 and drop down to 1. So we do that. And then the green removes those 2.
Yes.
This drops down to 1. We can take the die. And then
I lose this wall.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing changed as far as sorcery points go. And because you have 9 and I have 8, I gain 1 gold from the bank.
Yes.
Nice. And now I go again.
Don't forget the ward.
Yes, I operate my pieces. And then I move. I'll move here. And then, so I'll move, oops, here. I don't know why I have a plan, but I don't know if it's working or not. And now I build. I have placed here the 2 resources that I'm gonna transform into a crystal and a mushroom.
Yes.
Okay, I don't need to take them because I spend them right away together with these to build a workshop.
Nice.
Which is going to be here. And now with the workshop, I get a second flower income, which also means that I can transform flowers cheaper from now on, and 2 sorcery points. So that goes to 11. Yes?
No, from 8 goes to 10.
I was at 8. That's true. It was difficult math. You would get gold.
Yes, yes.
And then I will build a wall here for sure.
Okay.
But I also think I need a wall here. Another 2 gold.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous. Nice.
Nice move.
And now I will protect. Does it matter? Does it matter? It doesn't matter. This. Steal with this guy. So now stealing. In 2-player games, you steal from all adjacent spaces to the space which is in. So I would steal from all of those, but these are protected with walls, so I can't steal from here. That's why we place walls to avoid stealing. But this gets stolen from, and I gain 1 gold. It would be
cursed.
1 gold per piece, yes. And in 3- and 4-player games, I think you have to steal from at least 2 spaces, and you also steal from the space you are in.
Yes.
That's the difference. Okay, and that was steal, protect, and forage, flower. There. Okay. So that was casting, and then I have adjusted my points, and I get 2 flower, 1 elixir, and 8 gold.
Nice. Okay, I will stand up the witches. Okay, I will move this one here. And I will move, why not, this one here.
This is done.
Yes.
Okay.
And now build. I will do the same. I will exchange this 3 for the green one and spend these resources and the gold to build a workshop on this space, so I get 1 extra spice and 2 in the income, 11. Okay, and then I have 2 gold to build 1 wall here. You shall not pass. Okay, and now I will forage this one. Still with this one, so from this.
Your cursed gold.
Yes, and this one to protect.
Yeah.
No spells. And income, 2 spice, 1 crystal, 8 gold.
I roll the die.
4, yes.
It's blue and green again, so nothing happens. We basically remove the smoke clouds, and because no volcano can erupt 2 times in a row, nothing happens.
Okay.
So the red one did not erupt, which is interesting. Did you take your income?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing changed in the sorcery points, and now I have 10 and you have 11.
Yes.
So I get a gold, because you wanted me to do the math correctly.
True.
And it's my turn again.
Yes.
Upright my pieces and move. Where do I move now? I've cornered myself. I can teleport, but that costs money. There is a nice teleport back there, though.
Behind the enemy lines.
Yeah, but it's dangerous because if this erupts,
Yes.
and I have to teleport back out afterwards, so you're safe for now.
And the gold from the stealing can be used for the wall to be protected.
Yeah. Build myself a wall here just to teleport and steal from you.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yes.
It would be more interesting if this was not protected, though. Yeah, let's not do that for now. It's tempting, but I won't do that. I have to decide where I might place another city in the future. How about that? Everything is kind of getting destroyed.
Yes, that's why I have the advantage there.
You know what? I will plan for a city here. How about that? I'll do it.
Where?
I'll teleport back here.
Oh my god.
And then let's end the movement first, because I got excited to build the wall to protect myself. And okay, so that stays there. And I don't think I'll build anything very interesting this turn. I'll fall back here. Okay, and build. First of all, I'll build a wall here.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. And then I wanted to do this. Do I want to do this? Yes, I want to do this. I'll take my omnipresent essence, with 1 elixir, which says, gain 1 gold when you forage, not now, when you forage a hex containing a town, either your own or someone else's, and you may pay 1 gold to forage hexes with a red forage token.
Nice.
Okay, so I keep this here, it's an ongoing effect, and I have built a wall here. Do I want to build other walls? No, I don't think so. I'll keep these 3. Yeah, and I'll keep my gold as well. And then I will cast. So I steal from this and that 2 gold. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it was a smart move, but it was fun.
Yes.
And then I'll protect here, and I will forage back there.
Okay.
for 1 flower, and because of this, 1 gold.
I think it's because if it doesn't have.
When you forage in a hex containing a town.
Containing. Okay.
And I can pay 1 gold to forage hexes with the red forage token.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the casting, and then I did not gain any sorcery points. I just gained my income, which is a lot of flowers here now.
Yes. And I have 0.
Yeah. And 8 gold. And we can have a maximum of 30 gold and 15 resources. Any extras get lost. But it's a high threshold, yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okie dokie. Everything can erupt. What is safe though?
Nothing is safe.
True. Okay, I will just move this one here.
Okay. Getting closer.
Yes. I will start building some walls. I need...
Some more walls, you mean,
Yes.
because you have generally built
I need
walls.
3 walls at least. So, 1 here, 1 here,
So you encircle
yes, and 1 here.
twice. Ah, no, yes.
Twice.
So you gain 2 sorcery points
and 2 gold.
and 2 gold because of your spell.
Yes. And I think I want to build something now.
You could say you can't. It's not. It's not embarrassing.
Okay. I'm thinking to buy a spell, but I think I'm safe now. I'm not sure. Let's do that. Okay. This one will forage. So
Okay, so you're moving on to the casting.
yes. Get this one here. Let's say this one steals from you. So give me
Yeah,
1
sorry,
gold.
I fell asleep.
And this one to protect, but I won't protect him. Let's do it
It doesn't
for the
matter.
video, yes. And I think I will buy this one, the other with the spice.
Vanish.
Yes.
Ah, so protecting didn't matter. At the end of your turn, you may remove any number of your wizards from the game board. To start your next turn, each of your wizards must be placed in a hex of your choice, other than Volcano or Ash, and adhering to the 3 wizards per hex limit. Each wizard placed this way costs no gold in any circumstance.
So I will pay this here to get this one.
How many do you remove?
All?
They're going on a vacation.
Yes. Put them here.
Yeah, okay.
So
They may get burned though.
2. So done with the cast and the spell card. So income, 2 spice, 1 crystal, and 8 gold.
And then you roll the die as soon as you're ready.
4, 6, 8. Let's see.
I was certain it would be those two because okay, so a green and a red. Let's
Okay.
see. The green first destroys this wall for me, that wall for you, which means you lose a point because you lose the encirclement. Okay, and then this gets reduced to 0, and this becomes Ash. So now the threshold to win is 26 sorcery points, and we can't step into this space anymore. The same with the red. This gets removed, so this becomes Ash.
Before?
Yeah. Okay,
It's easier.
take it out. Yeah. Okay, these 2, and then I take back this wall. These get reduced to 0. Yes, wow. So now we're down to 24 points.
Yes.
To win. And you have 12 and I have 10, so I get 2 gold from the bank. I'm rich.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That was it?
Yes.
I upright my pieces. And now I'm ready to build a town. I have everything here, as you can
now
see.
I saw it. Okay.
I have the gold to transform the flowers and the corresponding resources underneath, so everything will go to build the town. But first I have to decide where to move because, you know, where do I want the town to be? Should I go here for the spice? Should I go here to get some... Do I want to teleport out? What's happening? I'm safe for now. So I'll stay for now. And I'll build a town here probably. So I'll build the walls as well. And then I have to protect myself from stealing this time, this turn. Okay, so I'll stay as I am now. And I spend all of these things here to build a town here. So that is 3 points for 13. 1 income crystal.
Yes.
And 1 gold.
Yes.
For the town. And then I will build a wall here to protect me from the volcano. A wall back here to protect me from stealing, I guess.
And this is encircled.
Yes, it's now encircled. No, yes, it is. Ah, so you shouldn't have lost the point here. It's still encircled.
True.
So I get another gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we didn't. Okay. But now I forgot if I got the point. No, I didn't. I get a point here.
We can count them. 3,
Yeah.
6, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14.
Yeah, 14. Yes. And then another 2 gold for a wall here.
This one is encircled too.
So I get another point.
Yes.
Now that you vanished, I feel like I have to place walls everywhere. And I will place walls everywhere. 1 more here, so I encircle this one as well. Up to 16 points. Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm safe. And moving on to casting. I'll forage a spice from back here. Spice and the token. Thank you. And the token here.
Yes.
I don't have anyone to steal from because your towns are protected. So I will terraform with this one and turn this token back to the black side.
Okay.
And I will protect this guy even though there's no need to.
Okay. Did you get a point?
From the encirclement? Yes.
Okay.
Again, it's 3 times 3, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I cast, the score is correct, and I get my income, so you can start playing, but I need a crystal, please, now that I have. Thank you.
Okay. First one will go here. This one here, because I can build a workshop in the future, maybe. And you, little guy, where do you want to go? let's say here.
Okay.
Or not. Okay, let's
Do
say
you move
here.
this turn? But there's no point in moving, I guess,
Yes.
since you just...
Just step one now,
yeah.
yes.
And this is now used.
And now I will build. I have these three resources. These three resources for the transformation cost 2, 4, 7 gold. 4, 6, 5, 6, 7.
The spices are cheaper because you have 2
Yes.
in your income.
I have the workshop.
Yeah, which makes it...
And 3 for the cost of the town. So all of this goes to build a town. Here.
Okay, which is already encircled, so you get 4 points immediately.
Yes, so I go from 13 to 17. I get 1 in the income
Yeah.
and 1 crystal.
Which is also now cheaper to transform. Not terraform.
And I think I will spend what?
Wouldn't you get a gold here now as well? Technically, you encircled one of your towns.
Yes, true. From this card,
Yes.
you mean? Yes,
I guess.
probably. And I will spend 1 gold to...
Replicate? No.
No,
You looked at it, that's
I
why.
will do the ward again.
You're destroying stuff.
Yes, and I will remove the vanish.
Okay, we remove the vanish from the game, but also it's the same thing. If I want to buy or play a spell card, I have to pay 1 gold until the start of your next turn.
Yes. And this one will forage.
Sorry, I thought.
This one will steal.
You thief.
This one to protect. And then income.
You can never be too cautious, I guess.
Yes.
Let's lie down a bit.
And 9 gold.
And I roll the die.
3. Yes.
Let's see. A blue and red. This gets removed anyway and goes to the blue, and the red doesn't erupt because it was already with a smoke cloud. So only the blue erupts. So I remove this wall and these two. And the threshold is still at 24.
Yes.
Okay. And you are?
17.
And I am at 16, so I gain a gold.
Yes.
24 is a lot. So we're not... Depending on whether the red will erupt, though, because it might drop down to 21.
And the green?
The green will drop it to 22. Or both of them. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I upright my pieces. And then this is still encircled as we...
Yes.
Yeah, I still think that my best bet is a town, though.
You have the resources again. Nice.
I have them here. This is a blue, so it needs 3 gold, so everything is here. Do I want to move? I don't want to move. I need a reminder. What happens in these 2 cases? Do we reduce the value of the... Or do I lose a building? Flip all with 0 value. Okay. Remove 1 non-wall building from all hexes with 0 gold value and no wall. So we just reduce the value
yes.
then without a wall. So I don't lose buildings in that way. So maybe I don't need extra walls there. So, okay. I will move here then. No, that... Yes, I'll move here.
Okay.
And... this guy is toast. Oops.
Teleport. you can come here. And, or here, not here.
This is dangerous as well. Everything is dangerous.
Yes.
And that was not well planned either, so I'll stay here. I'll stay there. So, anyway. No, I'll protect this guy. I'll build a town there. Behind enemy walls.
Okay.
I just can't find a way to encircle a town right now. But that's okay. So I'll build a town here. Which means 3 points. And 1 spice income.
Okay.
No gold income.
Yes.
And then I'll build a wall. Here.
Okay. You're not encircled?
No, I'm not. And that's it. I could move a wall, but I don't see how that would benefit me. So that's it. And then for casting, I can steal. I'll protect here.
Okay.
So that you can only steal from the town if you want to. I'll forage here. So I also get a gold because it's in a space with the town because of that. And yeah, I can steal or terraform, so that's it. And then I gain my income, which is 2 flour, 1 elixir, 1 spice, 1 crystal, please. Thank you. And 9 gold.
Okay, and this one is removed? Because
It was
didn't
for
buy
the spells,
for the
yes.
spells, yes.
3, 6, 9.
And you are on 19?
Yes.
And I'm on 17. Okay, if I do these two with those, I need this for this and 1 gold. Oh my god. Okay.
Destroy
Earthquake.
everything.
Yes.
It's from the volcanoes.
Yes. And come here. Save.
Yeah, it's safer.
Okay. And I will try. Let's do the math. These two cost 2 gold for the workshop. And if I transfer these two here, so 2 gold for the blue and 3 gold for the yellow, and 1 gold to build the market. Okay.
It can work.
Yes, and if I am lucky with a roll, I might win.
Yeah.
So
Everything.
Everything, yes.
But remember what you're building and where.
A marketplace,
And
a market and a workshop.
okay, okay. Yeah, in the same space here because you can't build. Yeah, you can only have 1 building per space.
Per space,
I
yes.
guess that was implied, but we didn't mention it clearly.
This one here because I don't have another market. So 2 on the income and 1 in the scoring. And where to place the workshop, I have 2 options. It's the same because they are both blue. So let's go here. So I get 1 in the income for the blue, true,
And 2 points.
and 2 points.
So 20.
20.
20. Yeah, and if it ends now, I have 19, so you win.
Yes. Who rolls? Me.
Unfortunately. So you'll roll a green and red.
Yes. Is this 1 in 12? 2 in 12.
Oh, these are good chances for you. Oh no,
Blue.
a blue, so
Nothing.
nothing happens. Okay, okay. So the
I
game did not
sorry.
just end.
I didn't do the. I was so excited
income,
to
yeah,
yes,
we got
and the
excited.
cast.
Ah, true. You just let's see if I win.
Yes. So let's roll back and get one forage from here,
Okay, spice.
and still with this one. So I get one gold from you.
Yes.
This one will be protected and get the income. So another 2 spices and 3 crystals and 11 gold. 2, 4, 6, 8,
Wow.
11.
Yeah.
And now we have to
I
roll
really,
the
yeah.
dice.
We check. I have 19, so I
You
get a
get
gold,
one. Yes.
which is great because I needed it. So now, whatever I do, I get 3 points. It's either a town or a workshop and a market. And even if I build another town, I don't think I can encircle both this and the new town. So it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. So you probably have enough to build a town, right?
I'm not sure.
2, 4, 6. You need 10, 13 gold. And you have 12. I'm wrong. You're hiding something.
No, that's true. But I can build a
both a workshop.
No, just a workshop.
Ah.
I can build market. I have already 3.
Okay. What does that mean? It's weird because I could technically force an encirclement. You know? If I could.
Force.
Yes, with a scorch.
But you need a town to get a point.
Yes, but I'm trying to figure out. My wizards are scattered everywhere.
Because they are witches.
Maybe. But they're called wizards in here.
Yes.
So anyway, don't distract me. I don't think it can happen though, you know? They're too far away.
This always happens in the last 1-2 rounds.
Yes.
You need to.
Just the 1 point. I don't know if I can do any of
And you
that.
can see that just 1 gold matters.
Yes.
If I had 1 more gold, I could place a town and probably win.
Anyway, I don't think I can figure this out. What happens if everything gets burned? Anyway, so I spend all of that
Yes.
to build a workshop and a market.
Okay.
A workshop and a market here.
So no movement.
I forgot to upright. Yeah, no movement, and upright my pieces. I got excited to build, and I was trying to figure out if I want to move.
Round. Yes.
But I built those, so it's 3 points total.
22.
So 22. And you already have 20.
Yes.
So it's a tie.
2 in the income.
Yes, 2 income and 1 spice income.
Okay.
I have, yeah. And that's it. And now I build 2 walls here and here to get the extra point.
Oh my god. And you are in 23.
That's a bit, yeah.
And I can go to 22.
I cast, before we forget everything again, I'll cast, that's protected now. Everything is protected basically, so I don't mind that. I'll forage a spice. Thank you. And I can terraform this.
Okay.
And then that's protect and scorch, which is not important, so that's that. And then I get my income, which is that. I need 2 spice. Thank you. And 11 gold.
Nice. Well, I can't go outside, so no movement. I don't have the gold for the transformation to build a town, so I can build only a workshop. Yeah, I think I lost, but it's okay.
It happens.
Yes, with these 2 and 4 gold for the transformation and 2 gold to build, so all of these to build the last workshop here and get 2 points. This one.
Okay. I forgot to get a gold here before because I foraged earlier.
Ah, true. I'm not sure what to do. Let me see one moment the spells. I think nothing I can do.
And you can't build a market because you don't have a town, right?
A 4th town, yes.
Yeah.
I have the full building now.
Mm-hmm. You need a town.
Yes, I want a town, but I was just 1 gold away. So
that's it?
Yes, and
you can cast.
Yes. Okay, I will forage with this one. No, this one should have been up.
Yeah.
So I will forage with this one to get 1 blue. This one will still. I can steal.
I can.
Yes.
You can steal. So
this one will be nothing. So that's it.
Yeah. Income.
Income.
And then I roll the die.
True. 4, 2, and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think the game ends anyway,
7.
right?
I don't know if we reach the threshold for the
We are
burn.
at 24, and any volcano will scorch at least 1, which will drop it to 23.
Ah.
I think so. Okay, it's red, but I think even that would have. So this and this gets reduced to a 1. Let's do them properly. Yeah. This gets removed because all of these lands get scorched. Yeah, do that as well. And now, yeah, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scorched
It's on 21.
ash areas, the threshold drops to 21. So we are both above the threshold,
Yes.
but I have 23 points and you have 22. So I win. Well done.
Well done.
Wow, that was a lot of destruction here. That, of course, depends on how the volcanoes are placed at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
Did you want to say something? You looked at me.
I was just doing some math, yes. I used the spells to use the
Destroy
vanish, so
the
the
others?
1 gold.
Yeah, so you
If
needed
I had
the gold.
1 gold, yes.
Yeah, but if I had vanished, maybe you wouldn't have the gold from stealing.
Yes.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah, it's recommended to play your first game with the basic setup and
A couple
without
of games,
the spell
maybe.
cards. Yeah, even a couple of games indeed. At the beginning, especially without the spell cards, because they are tricky to keep track of them,
Yes.
to learn what they do. The spell books are extremely helpful, of course, but you know, you need some getting used to. And there are some tricks that you discover along the way, like we were wondering at the beginning why you would scorch an area and kill your own wizard, but if you need just 1 scorched area to drop the threshold, just 1 point so that the game ends sooner and you win. It's very important. Or if you scorch an area, you might be able to encircle a city without spending the 2 gold to put a wall on it. So there are some tricks there to do at the very end, especially to, yeah, and then there are of course other spells. There is a spell that allows you to erupt whichever volcano you want.
Yeah, that was in my plan, but I didn't have the gold to do it before.
Here at the end though?
No,
But
no.
it wouldn't have mattered at
Yes,
the
yes.
end. What else? Build walls in adjacent spaces. There is a resurrect. Anyway, there are plenty of things here to keep track of and try. And yeah, that was it. Of course, it will be a lot more chaotic with more players. With more players, the board opens up and increases in size as well.
Yes.
But there are still 3 volcanoes. But of course, there are more people to move around and steal from.
Yes.
And block you from going to places. And
It's a very smart game.
yeah, and at the beginning, it's. I think it feels more threatening than it actually is.
Yes.
The steal is we don't generally like take that mechanisms, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like smart placement. It's not a lot that you gain from the other person, but it is enough to make you want to do it.
Well, at 1 gold.
Yeah, it can be important because you usually take it back afterwards, but it's not there when you need it.
Yes.
And I think even that whole situation with the volcanoes, getting used to the fact that if you don't have a wall here, it only reduces the gold value and you don't get completely burnt, was hard to keep in mind.
Yes.
I guess that it's not as dangerous as it feels. At the very first games, we were avoiding the volcanoes like the plague because we thought that we would get burned, but it's not. It doesn't happen as fast anyway. But yeah, the way the board gets reduced over time is interesting because you get cornered and you are forced to go close to other people. And overall, yeah, that's smart as well. Yes. It's a very enjoyable game.
Those are very
the
helpful.
boards made a huge difference to the quality of the game, yeah. And it was some feedback that was well received and they took action for it, which made a huge difference here. Planning ahead and having everything in front of you so that you don't have to remember rules out of memory was very important. So yeah, we have a review for the game, but it's quite old and we had criticized the fact that they had used cards for the resources, which has already been changed, so it's not valid anymore, the criticism. And you can go check that out. I'm not sure if we also have an unboxing.
I'm not sure because it was a prototype.
I'll put all the links below, and anyway, you can check out whatever the videos we have about the game, and we have done an update about the components as well. And of course, go check it out on Kickstarter. It's still available, even though it has been funded. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed the game and you had fun. If you did, leave a thumbs up before you go. Subscribe for more videos like this, and we hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye.
Bye.